Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining this webinar. So today we'll present the IHE Plugathons and the IHE-Europe Experience Days. So just a few rules for the webinar. So if you can please just keep your microphone muted. We'll have time for questions at the end. You can use the chat box in the meantime if you don't want to forget your question. The slide will be available on the Connectathon website. I will put the link in the chat also at the end. And the webinar will be recorded. You will be able to find it on the IHE-Europe YouTube channel or also on the Connectathon website. So the agenda of today is regarding the Plugathon and specifically the the one on EHDS primary use, the one on device, and the one on Open EHR, and also the program of the Experience Days. As you can see, I'm alone with you this morning. Unfortunately, my colleague Claudio cannot join as he's sick, so I will try my best to give you all the information. But of course, you will have some email address for you to ask any question that I may not be able to answer this morning. Just a bit of context, this Plugathon and the Experience Day will take place during the IHE-Europe Connectathon week that will happen the week of the 23rd of March, in Brussels, in Belgium. We'll be in the IHE, which is a really nice conference center, just 10-15 minutes walking distance from La Gare du Midi. So this year is a bit special because it's also the 25 years of IHE-Europe and the Connectathon in Europe. So we will try to make this this week extra special for you participants. So the Connectathon week is mostly known for the Connectathon itself, the testing, but as you know, we have several different activities. Also, so we have the IHE Projectathon. I would say just a few words about that at the end of the presentation. We have the 3 Plugathons, where I think you registered to the webinar for that today. The Experience Days, and also we have some additional events like a Belgian health interoperability day that will happen on the Tuesday. So I will start right now with the different Plugathon and give you as much information as I can. So a Plugathon is a smaller Connectathon if we want to really summarize it. So the goal is to test early stage specification, to try to learn together, to exchange best practices, and to solve the issue, but without the pressure of the certification of a real Connectathon. So there will be some participation certificates, but no official certification from us. So this Plugathon also helps the team to prepare their system to then, as a later step, go test in a Connectathon. So for all the Plugathon that I will present today, there are both educational session and testing session. So the goal is really to have time together to speak about the different subjects, the different specification, and then to really go on the hands-on session and do some testing. So I will start with the Plugathon on EHDS. Just for you, when you will be on site, we try to brand the Plugathon with this pink banner that you will be able to see on site and to find the Plugathon floor and also the Plugathon educational session. So the Plugathon on EHDS primary use is focused mostly on the European Implementation Act guide, for the primary use. So you will be able to test IPS, EPS, imaging laboratory, hospital discharge, and also it's not mentioned here, but I think you will be able to test also e-prescription and e-dispensation. As well as also the test cases from the different European projects. So the goal would be for you, when you participate, to come with your system or your application, the system that you are developing, to test your documents against the implementation guides and to participate in the European project test cases. So we will have one on the wallet, so for mostly for patient identification, and also the yellow button for those who were in Vienna already last year. That's a bit the same principle. So you will be able to download a document from an application using the yellow button, upload it in your own application to be sure that you can exchange the patient data. So you should attend, of course, if you are part of a European project, but not only, if also you are an IT vendor or developer and you want to test your system against the implementation guide, that's also absolutely possible. So the output of those sessions should be concrete technical feedback, so to understand what are the gaps in your systems, the improvement, and to discuss with the other participants to make sure to find a solution during the week. So here you have a little picture of what we took last year during the EHTS Plugathon. So it's a really nice place to be. So then I will, so on the practical information, there are two fees, one fee for the participant from EU funded project and one fee for the regular participant. It includes 1.5 day education that will happen on the Monday afternoon and 2 days of testing with a lunch and coffee break included. Here you have the link for registration, but later in the presentation, I have the link with all the different slides, sorry, with all the different links where you can register, have the information. If you already go to the Connectathon website right now, you will have a specific tab which is called Plugathon, where you will have the description of the 3 Plugathon that I'm presenting this morning, plus the registration for the EHTS Plugathon, and some more information on the other 2. So now I will talk about the Plugathon on device. So it's focused on medical device and particularly two profiles. So the SDC, which is the structure data capture, and is the SDPI, sorry, which is the service-oriented device point of care interoperability. So there will be some test cases around those 2 profiles and tooling. The testing will be supported on Gazelle, like the other Plugathon, and there will be some hands-on session for you to test it and to experiment on Gazelle. So there is currently a form that I will put the link in further slides that you will have to complete to see if you can participate to this device Plugathon. So the outputs of this Plugathon are the other ones to dry run for testing of the SDPI profile, to test the test cases, and to get ready for further Connectathon in 2026. So it will be from the Monday to the Friday. So as the Connectathon, that's the longer Plugathon that we propose. Sorry. I don't have the link to register yet, but if you express interest in the form, I think the link should be sent to you afterward. So then we have our last, but not least, Plugathon, the one on OpenEHR and bridging between FHIR and OpenEHR. So there will be some educational topics as the other one. So on the international patient summary, on IHE profiles like QEDM, MHT, and MXDE. You will be able to see the OpenEHR modeling methodology and to do some connection and bridging between FHIR and OpenEHR. So the experimentation would be between the IHE system, the bridge system between the 2, and OpenEHR systems. So more in depth, it will start on the Wednesday 25 and will continue until the Thursday 26. You have different situation in where and reason to come. So if your system and the test is an IHE one, you can come if you need to access some data from OpenEHR. If your system and the test is OpenEHR, you can act as a repository for the fireword. And if you have a bridge system, you can bridge between FHIR and OpenEHR. So the goal of this Plugathon is really to come not dependent on your level of maturity of your system. You can come and experiment. So here's the different registration links. I think they will be, the presentation will be available, so you will have all the information. So for the primary use, the registration opens today. For the device, as I was saying, there is a form to express interest, and for OpenEHR, the registration will open soon. For you to know also, here is a really preliminary presentation of the different Plugathon, sorry, but there will be some dedicated webinar for each Plugathon, so you may be able to speak with the different experts of the Plugathon, and they will be able to answer your question and explain to you more in detail how to get ready for the different sessions. So as I was presenting earlier, the Connectathon week is a lot about testing, but not only. We have also a conference, the Experience Days. So this conference is a 1.5 day that will happen on the Wednesday and the Thursday morning. So the goal is really to showcase the latest developments in the ELS interoperability world. As you may know, we are really focused on the HTS right now. So this year we selected the theme, which is reaching the HTS together, community interoperability and AI as enabler. That's really the core points that we want to highlight this year. The registration is already open and you have the early bird period until the end of January. It's the most convenient discount that you can have. So do not hesitate to register before end of January. So I will go a little more deep into the program, and then of course that will be open for questions. So on the first day, which is the Wednesday 25th of March, we will start with a keynote from the host country. So here it's Belgium that will explain a bit more in detail what is their strategy around the HTS and what is the current status of Belgium. We'll then have a block on AI in digital health with more specific session on the role of radiology and pathology. We'll then, after the coffee break, have a session on national imaging infrastructure cases in the light of EHTS. So this is really the session where you will have 3 or 4 countries that will explain to you how they are dealing with imaging in their country. Don't want to put names here, but I think we'll have most probably Norway, France, Germany, and I think also the Netherlands. So that's really the time where you can ask questions and you can see what's happening in the country. After lunch, we will have a keynote speech from WHO. I think it's a really, really nice keynote speech to have, and that will engage the discussion with the following block, which is on terminology. So we will not have only one terminology represented, but more terminology represented, and see a bit how they link and how they participate, they act in the EHS regulation. After the break, we'll have a more IHE focused session. So in IHE, we have some initiatives to help with the EHS implementation. So if some of you heard about the Eurydice and the PRISM program, that will be a part of this presentation. Also, I think to have a quick summary of what's happening during the Connectathon week. So for those who are not so technical, that's also the occasion to learn about the Connectathon, the Projectathon, and the Plugathon. And that will be followed by a VIP tour. So that's the one of the only way for you to access the Connectathon floor, to discuss with a vendor on the Connectathon floor, to also discuss with the monitors. So the monitors are the people that are assessing the tests. So they are validating the test, helping the vendors do the test, and so on. So there are essential parts of the Connectathon. You will also have a presentation also from for Gazelle, the testing tool that we use. I think it's used so in the Connectathon, it's used on the Projectathon and on the Plugathon. So that's always interesting to know how it's used for the Connectathon. And it will be followed by a formal networking. We heard the feedback that you put after the experience days, and we know that it's important for you to be able to meet because the program is really packed. So it's also important to create some possibilities for you to talk with each other and exchange also information outside of the sessions. So it will be followed as always by a networking dinner. The price this year is 40 euro, sorry. So I really encourage you to join. It's a really nice event to attend. And I think this year it will be even nicer. So now we'll go on the second day, which is really more focused on EHDS. So we'll have a keynote speech from the European Commission, then followed by 2 blocks, one on primary use, one on secondary use. So we will invite the project, of course, but that will be also the occasion for you as participants to ask the question and to be with the expert and to have some also answers to the specific question. And it will be followed by a national roadmap toward EHDS. So it's the continuation of what we had last year for those who were already at the experience days. So that's a panel with some different countries that have different level of readiness and that will be able to exchange their experience. And I think that's always really interesting to attend. So you can take the goods in every country, and that can help your own implementation in your country. So we will finish this experience day at 1, and that will be, as last year, the occasion to continue in the afternoon with a secondary use workshop. So to go more in depth on the secondary use topic. So for this also, I think the registration will open soon and you will have more information end of January. What I can ask you is to stay tuned on LinkedIn. I don't know if you all see, but we started to publish some interviews that we did last year. So that's really interesting to see some of the experts give an opinion on how it's going for them. What's how IHE can participate in the EHDS context, and we try every time to have the input from different categories of participants. So I think that's really interesting to see. Just on the practical information, here is the table for the prices and discounts. So as I was saying, the needler is 40 euro. The basics price is 460, but until the end of January, you have the early bird available with the code earlybird26. When you register, please keep in mind that you have to apply the code twice, once in the first registration and second time in the Stripe payment window, so that you have the early bird. For the other codes, they are also, of course, applicable now, but I think the early bird is more convenient. But if you are a member of IHE or testing on the Connectathon floor, of course, you have a discount. If you are part of a public entity, of course, a discount also. Now you will have it after. So I think for the Connectathon week, that's all. You probably saw that there is the XTHR Projectathon also mentioned here. If you didn't follow the information around this Projectathon, I can invite you to go to our website, always the Connectathon website, to have some information. There were already 2 webinars. So the 1 and the 2 that happened in November and December with some information. If you do not know if you would like to participate in the Plugathon or the Projectathon, We have a flyer that we constructed to help you choose, and of course we are available to give you some information. So here is just some other webinar that you can access to. There is the registration link directly on the slide, and as said earlier, the slide will be made available. So I think that's all from me. Thank you very much. If you have any question, please, I'm here to answer. You can unmute, ask anything.
Yeah, Sophia, I thought it was next Friday, the webinar for Projectathon. It has changed.
Yes, it has changed because of traveling of some speakers. So we adapted the schedule, and it will be the Friday after.
Because I still have the invite for the 16th, actually. So we need to register again.
No, I think it will be updated. Let me check. I will check that on my site, and if there is any problems, I will contact all the registrants. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Check. Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Bruno. So just a little recap on my side. So it's really if you want to experiment, if you are part of a project, and if you would like to test your system in a less pressured way, just please come to the Projectathon. That will be the way to meet also with people, to exchange best practices, to exchange information, and to help each other during the event. And if you are less interested by this testing, but you are interested by the news, what's happening, what are the current projects, and the latest news for EHDS, it's good that you join the Experience Days.